Hello, my name is Khalik Souza,
I'm Sarah Gordy.
I'm Milton Woodward.
I'm Michael Brozes.
and this is our training project. So we've decided to choose the topic of 4 simple reasons why sales reps should be CLO. So what is a CLO? CLO stands for Chief Listening Officer. It means that you listen twice as much than you speak. You're digesting what your buyer or whomever you're speaking with is saying, so you can give a sufficient response. And it can be used anywhere, not just in the workforce. It can be used in everyday life, in certain situations, or even when you're browsing the web. So the topics that we're going to go over today, it's going to be demonstrating empathy, demonstrating interest, inspiring confidence, and respecting the buyer's time. So when you're demonstrating empathy, there's going to be positive ways to do this and also negative ways. So active listening versus passive listening. When you're passive listening, you're not really paying attention to what your buyer is saying. You're maybe in your own head, or you're focusing on the environment around you. And you're probably going to give a generic response, maybe some kind of sales pitch that you practice over and over in hopes that they're gonna bite the hook and maybe become a sale for you and generate a lead. Now, when you're active listening, you are intently listening to what the buyer's saying. You're hearing what they're saying, you're digesting it, and you're understanding, okay, here's how I can solve their problem. And you're going to give a meaningful response. And by giving a meaningful response, you have to put yourself in their shoes and see it from their perspective. Right now, your buyer has a problem, and you do have the solution, but you need to find out what the right solution is for them and most efficient, and what's going to be most cost effective for them and get the job done. Now, through all 3 of these things, such as active listening, seeing things from their perspective, and a meaningful response, it can build a relationship, which is very huge in the sales environment. That will also not only create a relationship with that person moving forward, but also they'll tell their colleagues and their friends, which will generate more leads going forward.
Sorry. All right, next slide. Oh, there we go. Today, I will be going over how to demonstrate interest during a sale. I will be hitting each of these points below. What we will be discussing is our priority or the customer. We will also be thinking of a time that we had a connection with a salesperson while we personally were buying a product. We will also go over how to make a customer connection, how we can practice active listening and listening to understand rather than listening to respond. If a customer feels like your priority in the sale is to make the sale, they will most likely not be a return customer. Think back to when you have connected with a salesperson during a time you were buying a product. The sale that is coming to mind is most likely because you felt a connection deeper than just a person selling you a product. Any salesperson can ask a customer what they are looking to get out of a product and how they plan to use it. But it is when a salesperson dives in deeper that a true connection is made, and the customer notices a salesperson's true interest. When asking questions, be sure to find any way that you can connect with the customer so that a more personal relationship can begin to form. For example, if I'm selling Milton a vacuum cleaner and his primary use for it is to clean up dog hair, I now have an instant connection with Milton because I also own a dog and struggle with cleaning pet hair. Although it is important to stay on track during a sale, making any small connections throughout will demonstrate true interest and allow the customer to trust you more. When starting a sales job, most of the emphasis is put on being able to write and speak well. While both of these skills are important to a successful sales career, it is equally, if not more important, that a salesperson practices active listening. Like Khalik said, active listening means that we are listening to a customer to understand their needs, not just to respond with a rehearsed sales pitch. Has anyone been in a situation where they felt like the person that you were talking to was just thinking about how they were going to respond rather than to listening to what you were saying?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. So we've all been there. This can be a huge turnoff for a customer because it displays a lack of interest. Active listening is an important skill to have in both the workplace and in our personal lives. It is important that we show empathy and care throughout the entire sales process and go through our customers' struggles with them. As a team, we need to We need to make sure that we are actively listening to the needs of the customers, and instead of being so quick to respond, take a second to absorb what the customer is saying and then answer them in an efficient and meaningful way. As people, we all want others to be interested in our needs, and the sales industry is a people job. So apply these skills daily and show interest in what our customers desire, and watch your sales career become successful.
All right. For my section, I will be discussing how being a CLO involves respecting the buyer's time. The points I will be covering is the most important one. Preparation is key. I will also be discussing the importance of putting yourself in the buyer's shoes. I will discuss presenting creative ideas as well as making clear points. For preparation is key. When you're a CLO, when you're listening to your seller, listening to your buyer, it allows you to gather information and be prepared so that you're able to not waste the buyer's time. You want to be very knowledgeable on exactly what you are selling to the buyer so that you're able to really make a connection with them and they feel more comfortable and leaning towards you. And when you put yourself in the buyer's shoes, you want to really see how you would feel if you were being sold something. Like if you were purchasing something for somebody, you want to have full confidence that you're getting the best, not only product, but customer service from who you are buying from. So therefore, putting yourself in the buyer's shoes is very important. Also, presenting creative ideas is important because a customer can get a grasp of what you're trying to sell and they'll feel like you're making a positive impact on them if you present to them creative and out of the box ideas. And that comes with being prepared. When you're more knowledgeable on the topic, creative ideas are able to flow and you're able to become better. And the customer will feel that you are actually listening to them if you are able to come up with ideas based upon what you are selling. And making clear points is important because you don't want to beat around the bush with a seller. That comes to when you want to respect their time and not beat around the bush with the sale. You want to make clear points that are directed right at the product so that you're able to respect their time.
So inspiring confidence in the buyer. So it starts with the first impression. So as humans, we can be very quick to judge. And so people can tend to like you right away or not like you. So it's really important to really have that strong first impression to build a long lasting relationship with the customer. And some little things to help that out can include like just making eye contact, firm handshakes, and really just being super friendly and nice. And customers will be more confident in you if they like you, and so that first judgment's key. And next is building a strong rapport. So getting to know your customer is really important because people are a buyer's only going to buy something from someone if they like them. So just asking them questions about how their day was or how their weekend was, or to anything from their interest to really get the buyer talking. And that's when the listening comes in, and that's when it's important for you to like build off that rapport that can turn into like a strong relationship. So the next is asking questions that matter. So it's not about just asking whatever and just getting him talking. You do want to ask questions that are important to him and his business, or her and her business. And you just want to ask questions that are relevant to that so that the buyer doesn't just get thrown off with a bunch of random questions. And it actually shows that you care about his business. And it also helps finding the need, because that's also, when it comes to asking questions, you want to find a need that's going to help you solve their problem or make their business grow even stronger. And then lastly, following through on commitments. I think this is one of the most important things, because buyers will lose trust in you if you say that you're going to do something and then don't do it. But if you show that you can do stuff and follow through your commitments, that's how a long-lasting relationship and potential customer will happen. Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed our presentation, and remember these 4 tips: respect the buyer's time, inspire confidence, demonstrate interest, and demonstrate empathy. Have a great day.